Welcome to Study Loop.
Hey everybody, today we're talking about climate change and how it's going to affect basic population carrying capacities and how it makes everything kind of whopper jawed. So our options here are kind of talking about plants. So let's do climate change, effects on different plants. I think it's nice to be able to have a label on all these. Okay. Okay. So we're going to talk about why there's going to be a decrease in some or one and increase in other. This kind of gets into a really important concept about invasive species. And I'm kind of going to do a visual little drawing to help. So, as this is talking about plant species, let's draw some plants. Okay, over here, we're going to have like a Monstera. It's a pretty common house plant. A lot of you might know. And then over here, we're going to have a cactus. This is theoretical. These aren't actually true, but let's just pretend that these are kind of what we're talking about here. So, this Monstera, theoretical magical Monstera, let's say that climate change and everything has made it, it has affected it, but it is not drought resistant. And likes cold. And over here, we're going to have one that's drought resistant. This isn't also, as I was saying, these are both actually plants that like high temperatures. This is a saguaro, by the way. That's what I drew. Next up, likes hot. Okay. So let's think about it. As temperatures are increasing, let's say that this Monstera is in what's a good state? Okay, this Monstera lives in Oklahoma, okay, which is the state. So Oklahoma is its native range. And Oklahoma's temperatures, which is where I'm from, actually. My family's from Arizona, though, so I'm used to saguaros. So Oklahoma, let's say their temperatures range from like 20 degrees to 80. This isn't true, but degrees Fahrenheit, okay? If this plant is adapted to Oklahoma, it's going to like this range right here, okay? Climate change doesn't always, that's why a lot of times they don't use global warming. It makes things erratic, but overall you're seeing an increase in temperatures, and you're going to be seeing erratic weather patterns, whatever, okay? This Monstera is adapted, though. It's lived in Oklahoma for millions of years, so it's used to 20 to 80. Cactus lives in Texas. Okay. What is Texas even? It's like, I live here. I should live close enough. I should know this. Don't judge me, okay? So this cactus likes like 60 to 105, okay? Because that's what average temperatures in Texas are going to be. So as temperatures increase, there's going to be, let's say, after climate change, so let's make it red for climate change. Okay? This is going to be increasing to like, let's do 50 to 90. Doesn't seem like a big increase, or 100. And then we're going to put, now this is like 70 to 110. Okay? Not very big difference. But the problem is, remember, they have lived in these climates, this monstera and this cactus, for forever. So they're acclimated to these climates. So over time, they're going to be able to only live in the area that they were originally used to, okay? And if there is warmer temperatures, now, as Oklahoma is getting hotter and hotter and hotter, the cactus is going to move to Oklahoma because they're right next to each other, right? And it's better temperatures. Sometimes plants are going to be restricted by geographical barriers, but a lot of the times it's temperatures, regions, something like that. And when you make the whole world wonky, things become wonky. And as this monstera, let's give it little X's, okay, is dying, it is going to leave over some dirt. And then this cactus is going to be doing better. So, smiley cactus. And it's going to be able to live in this dirt that the monstera was then occupying, okay? It's taking over native species because it's changing the conditions of that native range. So, this question is basically asking about climate change and invasive species, which are both very important things. And it's kind of hard to determine sometimes, especially with plants, why things are happening. Are humans planting them? Why are things happening? And now that we're talking about climate change, we're going to look at our options and see which one is a viable option based on our understanding. And I know that this looks like some ranting and raving, but hopefully this helps you understand the concept as opposed to just understanding the answer. So now we've got A, B, C, and D. And let's decrease in size. Actually, everything over here. I know that it can be a little confusing. I'm not disagreeing with you. But overall, it's going to be like, an important subject, because as time is going on, you're going to realize, hey, wait, I was just writing down the answer to that, and now you're going to be actually able to answer it. So now that we have A, B, and C, and D written down, let's kind of go through them. So in A, plant species are drought resistant would decline in warm temperatures. Drought resistant stuff, it's going to like the desert, okay? And what is a desert? Warm. So, not true. A is wrong. Boop. So, next up, we have plant species that are pest resistant would thrive in warm temperatures. Okay, this can be true in certain instances dealing with what pest. For example, cactuses, like javelinas really like them, and so they'll eat them. But that's not what we're looking for here, and that's very subjective. We're looking for an overarching theme, and that's depending on what animal, so that's going to be wrong. Next up, we're having plant species that are drought resistant when decline in cold temperatures, whereas other species would thrive in number in such a climate. Okay, climate change is overall increase in temperatures. This is not what's going to happen in climate change. There's not going to be a decrease. This isn't an ice age. We're slowly increasing in temperature over time. So the answer has to be D, which is that plant species are drought resistant, would thrive in warm temperatures. So as temperatures are rising, right, that cactus is increasing its native range. Thus, it's being able to then go to Oklahoma or wherever it's hotter, when it was restricted by temperature. So that's why their numbers are increasing. They're able to go to those, which is then making them an invasive species caused by humans because we've changed the climate. So the answer is D. I hope you learned a little. Invasive species are a really cool subject. And yeah, have a great day. Bye-bye.